Welcome to the Digital Intellect, bringing you the latest news from around the world. I've spent a lot of my life crawling through mud and muck, boots sinking into the earth, hands caked with soil. Out here, every step is a reminder of the hard work that goes into every harvest, every meal on our tables. And I know few jobs are tougher than farming. It's a calling that demands everything: your strength, your patience, and your hope, even when the odds are stacked against you. Your office is the outdoors, your boss is Mother Nature, and she doesn't care about your plans. She can turn on you in an instant with a sudden storm or a drought that stretches on for weeks. Yet every day, farmers rise before dawn to face whatever comes. The work starts before the sun is up and often doesn't end until long after it's gone down. Their resilience is being tested like never before. Every season brings new challenges, and the pressure never lets up. News headlines talk about trade wars and plunging markets. Noise for most, but a gut punch for farmers. Farm exports have collapsed, and the uncertainty keeps growing. Decades-old markets have vanished overnight, leaving crops with nowhere to go and families with hard choices to make. This isn't just a business problem, it's a crisis threatening a way of life. Small towns are hollowing out, and family farms that have stood for generations are now at risk. But American farmers aren't giving up. They dig deep, drawing on a well of determination that's been passed down through the years. They pull on their boots and get to work, fighting back with grit and ingenuity. When equipment breaks, they fix it. When markets close, they look for new ways to sell. They're not waiting for miracles, they're adapting, innovating, and refusing to be broken. Technology is becoming a lifeline, helping them squeeze more from every acre and weather the storms ahead. This is a story of defiance and creativity, not defeat. Every small victory is celebrated, every setback met with resolve. The battle is fought in barns and fields, far from the halls of power. It's a quiet struggle, but one that shapes the future of our nation. It's a fight for land, family, and the future. Every generation learns from the last, passing down not just skills, but a deep love for the land. If they lose, we all lose. Our food, our identity, and a piece of what makes this country strong. The impact would ripple far beyond the fields. So, let's look beyond the headlines. Let's see the real people, the real struggles, and the real hope that lives in rural America. Let's see how these folks are adapting and refusing to be broken. Their story is one of courage, innovation, and relentless spirit. This is the unseen battle on the back 40. It's a fight that's easy to overlook, but impossible to ignore once you know it's there. And it matters to us all, because in the end, the strength of our farmers is the strength of our nation. For generations, the formula was simple: grow corn, soybeans, raise hogs, and sell to big distributors. It was a way of life passed down from parents to children, a tradition that shaped the landscape and the culture of rural America. But when global buyers disappear and prices crash, fields full of crops become a recipe for bankruptcy. Suddenly the barns are quieter and the grain bins are emptier than ever before. So farmers are changing the recipe. They're gathering around kitchen tables, brainstorming new ideas, and looking for ways to survive and thrive in a changing world. Across the Heartland, a quiet revolution is underway. It's not loud or flashy, but it's reshaping the future of farming, one field at a time. Farmers are diversifying, planting hemp, raising goats, experimenting with chickpeas and hops. They're exploring crops and livestock that were once considered unusual, searching for new opportunities. It's not easy. It means learning new methods, buying new equipment, and finding new markets. Every day brings new challenges, from figuring out irrigation systems to understanding the needs of unfamiliar crops. They're also changing how they sell, going direct to consumers at farmers markets, starting CSA programs, and selling online. Technology is opening doors that didn't exist a decade ago. This gives them control and builds trust with the people who eat their food. Customers become neighbors, and every handshake or smile is a reminder of why they do this work. It's more work, but it's about reclaiming independence. It's about making decisions for themselves, not just following the market's demands. For too long, farmers were price takers, not price makers. They watched as others set the value of their hard work. By growing new things and selling directly, they're taking back their destiny. They're becoming true entrepreneurs, building businesses that reflect their values and dreams. When the world changed the rules, American farmers didn't give up. They invented a new game. They adapted, learned, and kept moving forward, and they're playing to win. Every sunrise brings new hope, and every season is a chance to try again. The old ways may not pay the bills, but innovation just might. By blending tradition with creativity, They're forging a new path. That's the new reality on America's farms. A story of resilience, reinvention, and hope for the future. To survive, farmers are turning to technology. Today's farm is high-tech. Drones scan fields, GPS-guided tractors plant with precision, software manages irrigation. These tools are lifelines, squeezing every drop of efficiency from the land. One person can now do the work of a dozen, and data drives every decision. But this innovation comes at a cost. Massive debt for equipment and software. It's a high-stakes gamble. If crops fail or prices drop, the loans remain. Technology offers hope, but also risk. Farmers are scientists and engineers as much as growers. They're adapting fast, but the financial pressure is relentless. The promise of efficiency is real, but so is the weight of debt. This is the double-edged sword of innovation. Modern farming is a balancing act between progress and peril. The stakes have never been higher, and the margin for error has never been smaller. Behind the numbers are real people, farmers and families under crushing stress. Imagine pouring your life into land, only to watch its value vanish overnight. The culture of toughness makes it hard to ask for help, fueling a silent mental health crisis. Depression, anxiety, and suicide rates are alarmingly high in rural America. Isolation and scarce resources make it worse. The strain ripples through families, spouses take off farm jobs, kids worry about the future. The dream of passing down the farm becomes a source of anxiety. This is the human cost, a cost that doesn't show up on any balance sheet. We're losing more than farms, we're losing people, wisdom, and spirit. Saving the American farm means saving the American farmer. Their well-being is the central issue. If they break, the whole system breaks. Farmers aren't asking for handouts, they want a fair shot. They need stable trade policies and reliable markets, not agreements that change with a tweet. Government support must go beyond emergency aid, helping farmers transition to new crops and adopt new tech. Crop insurance and support programs should work for small and medium farms, not just the giants. Fair markets matter. Too few corporations control everything, leaving farmers powerless. Stronger antitrust enforcement can create real competition and better prices. Farmers need a seat at the table when policies are made. Too often, decisions come from people who've never set foot on a farm. We need to listen to farmers, value their expertise, and let their voices shape policy. True support means partnership, not just checks after the damage is done. A fair market rewards hard work and quality. That's all farmers are asking for, and it's what they deserve. A strong farm needs a strong community. When farms struggle, so do local businesses, schools, and towns. To help farmers, we must reinvest in rural America. That starts with infrastructure. Reliable high-speed internet is as essential as electricity. Farmers need broadband for business, kids need it for school, and local shops need it to compete. We must also support rural hospitals, schools, and small businesses. A vibrant community offers support and connection, fighting isolation. It gives the next generation a reason to stay and continue the legacy. Rebuilding rural America is essential for a strong nation. We can't have thriving cities and forgotten towns. Investing in rural infrastructure, healthcare, and education helps everyone. It strengthens the foundation of the country. These communities can survive and prosper if we act. The Heartland's future is America's future. How do you see a farmer? Not just an old man on a tractor, but a scientist, innovator, and CEO. They manage complex operations, use cutting-edge tech, and steward our land and water. We've become disconnected from our food, forgetting the hard work behind every meal. Farmers deserve more than a price tag. They deserve respect and gratitude. Let's teach our kids where food comes from, support local producers, and listen to farmers' stories. When farm policy hits the news, remember the families behind the headlines. Farmers are partners in our nation's health and security. Seeing them as essential partners changes everything. Their success is our success. They're not asking for pity, just partnership. It's time we recognize their skill, dedication, and value. They've earned it 1,000 times over. This isn't the end of the American farm, it's a turning point, a moment that will define the next chapter of our nation's story. Across the Heartland, change is in the air, and with it comes both uncertainty and opportunity. The challenges facing our farmers are immense, from unpredictable weather to rising costs and shifting markets. But the spirit of the American farmer is stronger than ever, rooted in resilience, hope, and a deep love for the land. Yet no one can face these obstacles alone. The current path isn't sustainable for families, communities, or the nation as a whole. We're at a tipping point. Our food supply, our rural communities, and the fate of America's heartland are all on the line. The choices we make now will echo for generations. We need urgent action, smart trade policies, investment in rural infrastructure, accessible mental health care, and fair, transparent markets that give every farmer a fighting chance. This is an American issue. Our security, our economy, and our well-being all depend on the strength of our farms and rural communities. There is hope in young farmers using new technology like drones, in families selling their harvests directly to neighbors, and in communities coming together at local fairs and markets. The future can be brighter, more diverse, and more resilient, with farms that sustain both people and the planet for years to come. But it takes all of us, urban and rural, consumers and producers, working together, building bridges and understanding between city streets and country roads. Let's make our voices heard, support local farmers at every opportunity, and demand real, lasting change from our leaders. The American farmer has never quit on us, even in the hardest times, always rising before dawn to feed the nation. Now it's our turn to show up for them, to lend a hand, to listen, and to stand together in solidarity. Let's ensure the Heartland thrives for generations to come, so our children and grandchildren inherit a land of abundance and hope. Our future depends on it, on the choices we make today and the seeds of change we plant together. And together, united in purpose and hope, we can secure it for all.